All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, and name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. And this video is going into what is Matthew 15:11 going into? Because we tell people that we're not supposed to eat pork, we're not supposed to eat crab legs, shrimp, and lobster. Which is true. And then we go back to Leviticus 11, and it shows you the dietary law. What you can eat and what you cannot eat. So Christians like to go to Matthew 15:11, and it says, not that which goes into thy mouth defiles a man, but that which is come out of the mouth, this defiles a man. So when Christ said that, folks be looking like, or folks be going thinking, it go through their head like, okay, so we can eat pork now because it just said it's not what goes in your body that defiles it. It what comes out, but that's not what it's talking about. And a lot of people that just read that one verse and don't continue to read down. You feel what I'm saying? They don't continue to read down. They just read that and close the book. Like what is that? How you gonna close the book on this, but you're not gonna continue to read down? You gotta understand. Yahweh Shai spoke in parables. He spoke in parables. You know how we talk. We talking like slang. We say some stuff that people don't understand what we saying because we talking slang. But just like him, he was talking in slang, parables. So sometimes people didn't understand what he was meaning when he said some stuff. So I'm finna go ahead and break this down. What is Matthew 15:11 really talking about? Is it really saying that you can eat unclean food? Is that really what Matthew 15:11 saying? Even though Leviticus 11 tell you that you can't eat unclean food, is it just going back to Matthew and they say, okay, now we can eat unclean food? Is that what it's saying? I'm finna show you what it say real quick. I'm finna show you what Matthew 15:11 really mean. And so you can ask your pastor, because I know your pastor done brought this out in church, so go to church on Sunday and ask your pastor what do Matthew 15:11 really mean. Let's see what he say. Alright, so I'm gonna start with, let me see where I want to start at. Let me see what I'm gonna start with verse 10. This is Matthew 15:10. And I'm gonna read it down. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand, not that which goes into thy mouth defiles a man, but which cometh out of the mouth, this defiles a man. Okay, let's see what that's actually talking about. Let's see if that's actually talking about food. Then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the disciples were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable, because they trying to figure out what is you talking about. They trying to figure out what is he saying, like, because they don't understand the parable. So they ask him, can you break down this parable to us? Let's see what he actually was talking about when he said this in Matthew 15:11. Let's see what he was talking about. And Yahushua said, are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever enters in at the mouth goes into the belly and is cast out into the drought? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. So the things that he's talking about comes out the heart, and we know the heart is the mind. And it says, for out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murder, adulteries, fornication, thieves, false witnesses, blasphemers. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defiles not the man. So it wasn't talking about food. It wasn't talking about food when it said that. It was not talking about food when it said in Matthew 15:11, not that which goes into not that which goes into the man defiles a man. or that goes into a mouth defiles a man, but which comes out of the mouth, this defiles a man. So it's talking about when it said in verse 19, for out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murder, adulteries, fornication, thieves, false witnesses, and blasphemers. That's what blasphemers. That's what it's talking about. It was talking about those. You know what I'm saying? Because what goes into your heart is your mind. So those things that go into your mind, that's what defiles it. Not talking about actual food, so you can't eat pork. You thought you were saved with that eating pork. You can't eat pork. And it says these are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands defiles not a man, because the Pharisees were trying to say that you got to wash your hands before you eat. That's what they were trying to say. But he was like, no, that's not no law. But so basically that's what it was going into. And Matthew 15:11 is going into fornication, adultery, thief, false witnesses, blasphemers, and murderers, and evil thoughts, because that's the heart. So that's the breakdown on that, man. It's not talking about that you can eat unclean food. That's not what it's talking about. You have to understand. You have to keep reading. Don't just get one precept. You got to read precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. You have to understand. You have to continue to read. You know, because if you continue to read, you understand it's not talking about actual food. It's a parable. It's a parable. You feel what I'm saying? So this is my video breaking down Matthew 15:11. Hope y'all got edified. Israel continue to endure. We almost out of here. That's all. Love y'all. Shalom.